ओके माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, अभी तक हम लोगों ने पढ़ा क्लास सिक्स एनसीईआरटी का पूरा चैप्टर। कौन सा था पहला चैप्टर? सोशल एंड पॉलिटिकल लाइफ है। उसका जो पहला चैप्टर है अंडरस्टैंडिंग डाइवर्सिटी, वो हमने पूरा चैप्टर पढ़ा। लेकिन जो हमारा एक्चुअली जो ये पूरा चैनल है ना, इट इज़ अबाउट द के ए एस फोकस्ड, लाइक यू कैन से कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स फोकस्ड, यूपीएससी फोकस्ड है ये चैनल। तो इस एनसीईआरटी को पढ़ाने का क्या मतलब था? मतलब इससे क्या हेल्प आपको मिलेगा इन द कॉम्पिटिटिव और द सिविल सर्विसेज एग्जामिनेशंस। तो अब जैसे कि आप सबको पहले से पता होगा कि जब हम लोग यूपीएससी की प्रिपरेशन करते हैं या स्टेट पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन स्टेट सर्विसेज की प्रिपरेशन करते हैं, तो पहले हमें बोला जाता है कि आप लोग सिक्स्थ से ट्वेल्थ तक का एनसीईआरटी पढ़ के आइए। सिक्स्थ से ट्वेल्थ तक का एनसीईआरटी पढ़ लीजिए ऑफ द सोशल साइंसेस। क्यों? क्योंकि ये आपका बेस बनाता है टू राइट सच अ कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स। तो उस एग्ज़ाम्स को पढ़ने के लिए आपके लिए एनसीईआरटी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, ताकि आप समझें जो एग्ज़ाम का डिमांड है, जो एग्ज़ाम का लेवल है। एंड उससे भी इम्पोर्टेंट कि जो आपकी सोसाइटी है, जो आपका रिलीफ ऑफ लैंड है, जो आपका इकोनॉमी है, वो हमें कैसे पता चलता है जब हम लोग अपने सोशल साइंसेस पढ़ते हैं। बिकॉज सोशल मीन्स जब हम वो साइंस पढ़ते हैं दैट इज़ रिलेटेड टू द सोसाइटी, जो हमारी सोसाइटी को गवर्न करता है, जो हमारी सोसाइटी को ग्रो करता है, जो हमारी सोसाइटी को आगे ले जाता है। So, in that sense, you can say, yes, the NCRTs form the base for the competitive examinations or the civil services examination. So, here, same is the case, I have written the UPSC oriented questions from the class 6th NCRT. Like, what can we think from the a simple chapter that's the class 6th NCRT chapter of a political science? The chapter is the social and the political life, and the name of a chapter is understanding diversity. In this chapter, the name of the chapter is understanding diversity. In this chapter, understanding diversity. In this chapter, what will we learn for the UPSC? What is a bigger thing to learn from this class 6th NCRT of the first chapter? Okay. So first we learned about the unity in the diversity, because as we read in the in this chapter, the unity in diversity was a term coined by the Jawaharlal Nehru, and on this a number of questions have been asked in the UPSC examination. What is the unity in diversity? So you need to read about this in a bigger canvas. You need to know what a unity in diversity is in India. And then the second point which we learn for such an examination, like it's like inequality. How inequality prevails in India. It still prevails. It prevails today as well, due to the poverty and the casteism. And you have to look on these terms at a bigger canvas, at a bigger horizons. So from these things, from small little things, you can find a bigger picture of these small concepts. And that is what an examination like the civil services or a UPSC demand from a candidate. Okay. And then, when there was a national movement of India, the freedom struggle of the India, what we read in the modern history of the India, then the national movement, what was the diversity in that national movement? How was the national movement carried? Was it, as all of we know, that the national movement was not alone carried by either Hindus or the Muslims or the Sikhs or the illiterates or the literates or the backward or the rich classes. Nothing was that. But in national movement there was a diversity. So what was that diversity? Then what is the difference between the diversity and inequality? If possible, you can write the answers of these questions, or you can read more about such concepts on the Google, so that you can learn from these concepts in the future, and it will make you a stronghold to go with these concepts. And in the current scenario, how is the Indian, like we can see the many rights are now and then occurring in the country, how that current rights and the Indian diversity are connected, are disconnected, why is it happening? Even if we have more tolerance to each other, we respect each other for their diversities, then what is happening in the India right now? How is that connected to the Indian diversity? Is it really connected or not? You need to think, you need to interest, you need to read, you need to be updated with your current affairs on such issues. Then, is this unity in diversity still relevant in India? Do we literally in the current times, do we respect each other? Do we have a tolerance for each other? Do we like each other's work culture, each other's cultures, foods, and the other diversities? Do we literally respect in the current times? Then there are today's trade relations of India with the China, the Arab countries, and the Indian diaspora. Like you read about the trades and the trade routes that were got then that India that from the Ladakh mountain passes make the routes, make the passes for the caravans, for the merchants or the traders, and that's what attracted traders to the Ladakh. From that path they can go to the Tibet. And same is the case with Kerala. Like we read about the Kerala, how that attracted to the world for its spices or condiments. So these are the things like the trade relations of India that time. But how are the trade relations of India with China today, with Arab countries today, and the Indian diaspora? The Indian diaspora means how it means the Indians, the Indian citizens that are working in the world or in all over the world. For example, in the IT sector, in the film sector, in the civil sector, in another sectors, in the diverse sectors of the world, and how that's called the Indian diaspora. And how that NRIs, how that Indian people work there, and how is it going, how it impacts their culture or their life. And the way we read, like the diversity comes from a place. If we leave a particular place and go to and reside at another place, or we relocate to another place, or we left a certain place and settle in another place, and how it impacts our cultures, we read about that. So this is same is the here, like how Indian diaspora, while going all over the countries, working all over the world, so how that impacts, how that mixing of culture is happening, which we read already in the unity of diversity. And how is it presently, actually today, how it is going, how is a mixing of culture still going in the world, as the cultures, as the people, as the world. It's a dynamic, it's a dynamic concept. People grow, people achieve, accomplish, people old get older, then people die, and that's the truth of a mankind. One generation is gone, another generations come and other. And every time a man man actually the man actually experiences, many times you must have listened, history repeats itself. The way the ancient people, they actually experience the culture, they experience the intermixing, they experience the relocating. Same is the truth with us today. We too work at another places, we too relocate, and how it currently impacts our cultures, intermixing other things. You can think on a bigger canvas. And in the syllabus there is a GS2 subject. GS2 is a paper. There is issues relating to development and the management of social sector, services relating to health, education, and the human resources. These are all the things which comes in the GS2 paper of the UPSC. And issues relating to the poverty and hunger, it's also in GS2. Then GS2 paper 2 has also effective policies and the politics of development and the developing countries on India's interests, Indian diaspora. And the GS1, there is silent features of Indian society and the diversity of India. It's the UPSC syllabus. And how is it relevant, all these topics, to these these papers. Thank you so much for today. I hope you must have found these insights very helpful, and you will try to write some answers, understand certain things that will help you in a better preparation. Thank you so much.